I asked for conflict, and I got conflict this episode of Soredemo. Very good episode. Very, very good episode. We get to see the main enemy faction, probably of this series or of this arc, and we get to see the massive tone change right in the middle of this episode. I mean, did anyone else feel that tone change? I mean, all of a sudden we have just Nikki going into a church, and then all of a sudden we have the tone change, epic music starts playing, we find out the revelations about the king's mother, how she died pretty much, that she was killed by the other royal family of the kingdom, and we find out her name, Sheila. So just all around, it was a good episode. It just demonstrates the main central antagonist of this series, because the face he gives Nikki is like, I am going to kill you. That's exactly the face he gave her in this episode, and that is what he was trying to do right at the end of this episode before it went into cliffhanger mode. And I'm thinking like, you know how I feel about cliffhangers. Now, one thing for certain, though, I like the animation, that part. The animation when the tone changed in the middle of this episode, and you get to see this two opposite sides, like you got Princess Nikki, and you got Ronnie, you know, just looking at each other. I love the animation of that scene. It really just demonstrates the emotions and feels that we should expect from this series, and I love the way they portrayed the antagonist just so well with that music. That music suited the scene so freaking awesomely. I mean, it was just so different. One thing I love about Soredemo is definitely the music. The music, they know how to select great music to be able to play in the background to demonstrate each scene in the episode, and I feel like that's what really makes this series shine so freaking well. Besides the standard Princess King story, I do love the series. I love Soredemo, and it's definitely a good series I would recommend to people. Once again, this episode still kind of retains that relaxing type vibe, even though there was action, even though there was political infighting, royal families having bickering between each other. We get to find out more about Sheila, how the king's mother died, and get to find out who killed her technically. It's still kind of a relaxing episode until you got to that very end, to where you see a bunch of assassins pop up about to kill Princess Nikki, and I was like, oh my god. So, really, all around, my impressions of that episode, I enjoyed it. It was a good episode, it had good animation and scenes, it had beautiful music, loved that opening song, and I'm just interested to find out how Nikki's gonna get out of this. Most likely, the king, as we know, Levius doesn't trust the opposite faction that's doing this rite of illumination, so most likely he's gonna pop up with an army or something inside of there to save Princess Nikki. I call it right now. I call it, and that's exactly what will probably happen next episode. Either way, I like it. Tell me your thoughts on this episode, and all of you light novel manga readers out there, is this series being adapted properly? Please let me know in the comments below. And everybody, thank you so much. Chibi out.